You are also a financial regret.
Is it though?
Get pet insurance, you guys. It's not on the list, but get pet insurance. Hi everyone, it's Ntao. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Who would have thought, who would have known? I have been meaning to start a channel for the longest time. I think 2 years, maybe 3, but I didn't have the time and I didn't have the courage, but I think I have both now. I'm not too sure about where this channel is going. Right now, I really like talking about money, career, finances, so that's what we're going to start with. Also be starting by roasting some of my financial decisions. Currently 28, so 30 at this point is knocking at the door, and I thought I'd reflect on some of the mistakes that I made. Let's start. Mistake number 1, having multiple credit cards. Personally, I don't have anything against credit cards. My personal philosophy is to pay them off within 52 days so that I'm not incurring interest on things that I probably won't care about a month from now. Now, the problem was that I, at some point, had 3 credit cards. I had my main credit card from F&B, which was linked to my check account. I had a Standard Bank one, and I had an ABSA one. So the F&B one I was quite on top of. It was on my banking app. I knew exactly where I'd spent that money, and I was repaying it on time. The other credit cards, not so much. I found myself reaching for them a lot more than I'd anticipated. It would be like a swipe and completely forget about it until the end of the month when I get the statement and I have to repay those amounts. Definitely regret that. Right now I only have 1 credit card and I'm trying to keep on top of it. Mistake number 2, buying high ticket items on credit. I regret this today. I will regret it 10 years from now. Let me give you some background. When I started working, the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 were released in September that year. At the time, I had an iPhone 5S, so I was due for an upgrade. I think we can both agree. Anyway, that's what I tell myself. But I decided that, okay, I don't want to pay cash for this phone. I don't want to get a cell phone contract because I already had a cell phone contract that was like a SIM contract. So I was like, I'm just gonna get the phone. At the time, the iStore had partnered up with Standard Bank and you were able to access a credit facility through them and get an iStore card. What I didn't know at the time is that this iStore card was an actual credit card. I thought it was like a Truworths card, an Edgar's card, where you could only spend it at the iStore. But when it came in the mail, that wasn't the case. I could spend this card on whatever the hell I wanted, and that's exactly what I did. I went to the iStore, I swiped for that phone, and the plan was to repay the loan in 24 months, like a normal cell phone contract. What I found myself doing is paying the minimum repayment on that amount and spending it again. Like I said, it was not something that I was very conscious about. I didn't know what the balance was every month, so I don't think I really cared. What ended up happening is that 5 months into this whole arrangement, my outstanding balance was the same as day 1. Like, nothing had changed, nothing had moved. The credit limit also wasn't set to the value of the phone. So I found myself sometimes being 500 or 1,000 rand more than the value of the phone. I think what made it all the way worse is that I lost this damn phone and it wasn't insured. And it's crazy that it's only then that I figured out that I made a financial mistake. Like the red flags weren't there all along. Like this balance wasn't an indication that clearly I was out of control. So what I did, chopped that card up. I had a debit order from my main bank account and I paid it off as quickly as possible. It hurt me so much to be sending money every month to this card and having nothing to show for it. Horrible, horrible idea. Number 2, this camera. It's coming in handy today, but it wasn't handy 2 years ago when I bought it. I had decided that I was going to be a vlogger. Had I vlogged a day in my life? No. Did I know anything about that? No. But I was like, I have the means, I have access to money, I don't have the money, but I know the bank will give it to me. And I bought this camera on Take-A-Lot. It was just before my trip to Bali with my friends. I had scored secondment, so I was moving to Houston, and I thought it was an investment. Mistake number 3, not saving for retirement sooner. I could kick myself for this. When I started working, I was a fixed-term employee, so I was on contract, and I didn't have access to the company's provident or pension fund. That only happened later on. What I didn't do is take initiative, though. I think my reasoning behind this is that I wasn't making a lot of money at this point. So I thought that any contribution I made would have been a drop in the ocean and not worth it. Number 2, retirement felt like it was so far away. It felt so far. And I just didn't prioritize it. Knowing what I know now, I would have definitely put even 500 Rand aside every month. I would have also been able to reap the tax benefits as well as contribute to something in the future. I've gotten better now, but should have done it earlier, man. Mistake number 4, not having a budget. Right now, I have a beautiful Excel spreadsheet. It has my current bank balance. It has all my monthly expenses. It has an amount allocated to entertainment, and that entertainment is categorized for each and everything, and it nets off to 0. I wish I had done this sooner. So many times I would look at my bank balance and be like, where did my money go? Like, it's just poof, and I didn't know where it was going. So tracking these amounts would have been very beneficial in my early days because I know exactly where my money is going, and I think it would have definitely helped me make better decisions and save more. So let's do that next time. Next mistake, not having an emergency fund. When I started working, I think maybe this is just an extension of my personality, but I was so optimistic. I thought that nothing would ever go wrong and everything would be fine, and that's just not how life is. There were instances where I needed the extra cash and had to use my credit card or ask my sister, and that could have been avoided with an emergency fund. Another thing, I drove a very old car when I started working. There was no service plan, motor plan, there was no plans. All the plans, they were there. Don't even know all the plans. But I had to pay cash if something happened to it. I essentially had to maintain this car by myself. If something was wrong, if I had to change a spark plug, that would all be on me, and I never anticipated those expenses. Also, my service. Guys, I would see the mileage going up. Iyakhuphuka. But in my mind, when I see that service light go on, I get shocked. I'm like, what? Already? It was silly. It was silly. I should have anticipated those expenses or gotten a, what is that thing? That thing you pay every month, and there's a plan. I don't even know what the plan is, but there's a plan where you can get your car serviced and you don't have to worry about it. So I could have gotten something like that, or I could have put money aside. Either way, I was stupid. Don't be like me. Okay, so I think those were probably the top 5 mistakes that I made. I've made a lot more. I think my biggest takeaway is that I was very impulsive in my younger days, and I think I'm better now, but all of these things could have been avoided. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe in the comments, let's chat about some of the financial mistakes that you have made so that we can cry together. We can cry in unison and hopefully never make them again. I'll see you guys. Bye. Where's my dog? Big meme. I was literally about to start recording and you walked out. Why are you holding him like a kitty bye? Hello, my vibes. Oh, I think it's tomato sauce. This is you. Look at yourself in the viewfinder. This is you.